Black Hawk Down, Ridley Scott's 2002 film, recounts the real events that took place in October 1993 in Mogadishu, the capital of Somalia, when an operation by the elite forces of the American Army was complicated when a helicopter was shot down in the middle of the city. It is an intense movie from beginning to end, resembling an ultra-realistic documentary showing several parallel perspectives of the battle. Hans Zimmer created the soundtrack in collaboration with other musicians in the so-called The War Room. The soundtrack features indigenous African instruments and sounds, as well as contributions from Senegalese singer Baba Maal, Breton singer Denez Prigent, and Australian singer Lisa Gerrard. There is music on 3 different levels: the hyper-realism of the conflict, the dramatic ones linked to the characters, and those that are placed on a higher level as a reflection of the consequences of the war. All of them intertwine and mix, forming a deliberately chaotic and confusing musical amalgam, like the war itself. The battle between the soldiers in the movie is accompanied by a real musical battle with the same power and force. There is electronic music for the Americans and ethnic music for the Somalis. Although both sides share both types of music, which is part of the intended chaos. The electric guitar harshly underscores the actions of the Somali rebels, such as when they steal NGO supplies from the people, or when they rearm to confront the American soldiers. It forms a musical motif that merges with ethnic music that subtly references it, and also appears in the actions of the Americans.
Why are they burning tires? Signals to the militia that we're coming!
Alert, touching down at target.
This music, although played by both sides, represents aggression, violence, and war, and it is presented to the Somalis, not the Americans. For them, it is not music of aggression, but music that they are also confronted with. In this total war, the Americans also respond with music, this music. Which is partly reminiscent of Jerry Goldsmith's music, which here emphasizes the solidity and unity of the command. It is music that attacks the Somalis. It is total war. Ridley Scott and Hans Zimmer take one side, the American side, to which they assign 2 emotional themes. The first is this one.
Pick up if you're there.
I'm just going to check up on you and make sure everything's all right. I'll call you in a couple hours. You bet.
It expresses their yearning.
Your move, Randy.
I'm missing you.
You don't think we should be here?
And, in a Morriconian Western twist, emphasizes the idea of heroic destiny, of a legendary mission. It is a music that breaks with the intended hyper-realism and immersion of the battle scene and takes the audience into a more fictional territory, as in so many other films.
Dead!
Phil is dead, sir! C2, this is McKnight. We have a KIA. Dominic Phillips, over.
It is a decision that, in any case, remains coherent until the end, with the theme music enveloping the soldiers.
Everyone feels the same way you do, all right? It's what you do right now that makes a difference. It's your call.
Fix it.
Yeah, we got it.
And it is significant that the raw and harsh Somali electric guitar is accompanied by the warmth and sweetness of a Spanish guitar.
When I go home, people ask me, "Hey, Hoot, why do you do it, man? Wow. You some kind of war junkie?"
Similarly, the second musical theme first appears before a soldier who has lost half his body. It is used to pay tribute to the soldiers and to emphasize the brutal consequences they have to suffer, and it extends in almost adagio form to those who are fighting.
Cover! Wait,
In the movie, as I said, there is a mixture of music like this, which leaves the drama and returns to the battle scenario. Only to return immediately to the level of evocation and dramatic transcendence. The movie begins with death and a proclamation of mourning and heartbreak, especially for the Somali civilians subjected to the dictatorship of violence. It is a song that functions as an external voice over what is happening. It is the voice of Ridley Scott and Hans Zimmer. There are several scenes where the songs function organically, integrated into the environmental or dramatic context.
Roger that.
You still want to go in there?
Yes, sir.
But in others, they are positioned above, a desolate reflection on the madness of war and violence. It is the music that comes out of hell,